Another thing this game had was an ad hoc battle mode as well as a true online battle mode. The original release of Portable Ops also had these modes, but Portable Ops Plus added, of course, new characters, new weapons. Really, it was seen as more of an expansion to the online than the single-player content. The single-player content was just so you could get these new items and characters. There were also a couple new stages added to Portable Ops Plus, but one in particular is worth looking at. So we're going to pick Team Delta here. And we're going to see a bunch of weird... Yeah, look at that menu, but what's that you see in the background? Oh? Yeah. The Rex Hangar is a stage that they added to this game. It is a very faithful recreation of the Rex Hangar, specifically the Metal Gear Solid 1 version. And of course, we're a Genome Soldier. We'll also take a peek at some of the extra weapons they added, such as the FAMAS from MGS1, and you can see we hold it the same way Snake holds it in MGS1. We've also got a remix of the alert theme. The drainage ditch has been drained, no water. But almost everything is exactly as you remember it. I think they built this from the in-game graphics of Metal Gear Solid 1, because it even has this weird little area you can climb up over here. No hole for the rat, unfortunately. I guess they patched that up. So the FAMAS is, of course, a bullpup assault rifle. It functions how you would expect. Look, we've even got the level 7 door. This is a really, really cool stage. And I mentioned it's based on MGS1 rather than Twin Snakes. You can tell because not only are there ladders, but that little additional area over there, it's not here anymore. That also makes this currently the most visited single room in the franchise, because we've been in this room in MGS1, Twin Snakes, and now here we have it in Portable Ops Plus. And that's interesting because it means we get to see how this area looks in MGS1's art style, MGS2's art style, and now MGS3's art style. I believe, yes, there's an extra loop around here, so we can get to the front this way. We can take a look at Rex's face, and there's an additional ladder on the front so we can get on top. We can't get in here, however. Those stairs also look... This part looks a little smaller. And you might notice this is also all one loading area. It's not multiple different sections like it was in MGS1. And of course, yes, you can have a fight on top of Rex. So, we've got some other menus here in online mode. No, we've got that one. But we've also got this, which gives us access to some different motions we can do. Most of them are just silly little animations. There's also this one, which might look familiar. Yeah, if you like this from Snake vs. Monkey, well, I hope you're very excited to know that you can now make multiple characters do this animation. There's also a whole host of different hero poses you can do, so you can get a whole squad of colorful Genome Rangers. There's another option here, however. If we press L, we do Fulton Recovery. So that's where if your character's low on life, and you don't want to risk losing them in a more serious type of match, you can just extract them. Now here, I can't do it, because we're indoors. So, unfortunately, you know, you can't use all of the functions in this stage, but it's still pretty cool. What happens if I click this? Will this switch to my next player? Yep, it will. Good. Because we've got some things to show off here with Old Snake. We'll get back on top of Rex because it's just a fun place to show things off. Oh yeah, there's also these little platforms here that help bridge the gaps. So if you want to, you can get on top of the railgun. Now you have to roll, but the problem is you can fall off and die, so you got to be careful with that. But yes, we've got some extra weapons. We get the modified M4 that was heavily featured in Metal Gear, or I guess would be heavily featured in Metal Gear Solid 4. We can't customize it like we could in that game, but again, it's an assault rifle. It functions how you'd expect. Snake, Old Snake, comes with this when you unlock him. You can get more by playing the Infinity Mission on higher difficulties. One thing you cannot get is the stun knife, which is fully functional in the game. Old Snake was supposed to be equipped with this, but in the final game he is not. You can just barely see in his hand that it is the MGS4 stun knife. How is it different from the normal combat knife? Well, you see, he can still do the regular combo from MGS3, but if we hold the button to stab, he does this kind of janky little animation there. That is not a stab that kills enemies. That is an electric stab. It does function. It's fully implemented into the game, but there's no way to get this weapon normally. So let's change to our next character. Snake's got a little tummy ache. He needs to rest. And finally, we'll take a look at Raiden, who, when you get him, comes with the SOCOM. The one that Snake gives him in MGS2. It works pretty much how you'd expect. It's a suppressed handgun. But it's the SOCOM. Again, you can get multiple of these through playing the game, so you can outfit all of your dudes with this weapon if you'd like. I also mentioned the P90 is something that the Tengu come equipped with. You can see it's a much more detailed model than was in MGS2. And yeah, it's a submachine gun. We can't look down the sights. We can only fire it from the side. But it's very stable. As you can see, it just pretty much always fires in the same place. And, yep, it's even got an accurate reload animation. It is the first playable appearance of the P90 in the franchise. We'll see it again in a future game. But yeah, Portable Ops Plus, a lot of neat little things that I personally really like as a certified Metal Gear freak. Whether or not you like them, oh yes. Since it's a submachine gun, it also has that animation from MGS3. But yeah, whether or not this looks like something you'd like to play, who can say? All I know is that I think it's pretty cool. And now that everyone's gone, it's Campbell's time to shine. Ah!